Yeah, my camera is at the lower part of my screen. That's the reason.
Yeah, better. Now
I think now it should be okay.
Good.
Yeah.
So 37 participants have entered. Let's see.
I think let's just wait for a few more participants and then.
Yeah, till then.
So I think we've already started the live streaming. So I think.
Oh, you have started?
Yeah.
I think it is better you start after you introduce, because you can stop that streaming. Because last time also people get confused with murmur and chats.
I don't think we can stop it now because it's already live. So
Chalo.
what we can do is we can start the recording a bit later. So I think that's a separate thing which we can do.
Oh, okay. So that's we have Farzana also here, who is in Chennai.
Hello.
And she runs a wonderful yoga center, and her clinic name is very, very wonderful. Everybody will love it. It is called Orange Ray.
Yes.
Orange Ray is the ray of hope, and it's a lovely sight to see in the morning and in sunset. So I keep telling her. So we'll listen to her for a while, and then we'll listen to Juzer till we start.
Okay. Thank you, Sefi Bhai, for this opportunity. I call him Sefi Bhai. And thank you, all of you, for inviting me.
Not the Mumbai Bhai.
Yes. No, not the Mumbai Bhai. This is our own Chennai Bhai. So I'm really delighted to be here amongst all you health-aware people. And it's so nice to see people who really want to take care of themselves, because we have just this one body to live in. And as long as we are alive, we have to be, looking after it. So it's a great concept that you are having. I've seen the first episode also, Sefi Bhai shared with me. And I was really impressed with the interest you guys have shown. As far as I'm concerned, I run a clinic in Chennai called Orange Ray. It's an alternative medicine clinic. Our USP being we have all the alternative sciences under one roof, be it Ayurveda, homeopathy, acupuncture, psychotherapy, nutrition, and yoga therapy. So I personally dabble in yoga therapy and naturopathy, and I'm also MD in acupuncture. I'm a student of BCAS Iyengar. So all you Mumbai people will be very well aware of this name, Maharashtra. And this was something I didn't do it by choice in the beginning. I would just say destiny trusted upon me, because I was unwell. I had a very bad low back issue, and I was not getting really sorted with modern medicine. So that's when I approached my.
You haven't registered yourself. You see the email you will get.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Fazana. I think I've muted him. So.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. So I had a low back issue, a chronic one, which the orthos and the neuros were really not much able to help me. And it was so chronic, and it lasted for more than 1.5 years. And because of that, I went off into depression, because I just realized that I was very young. And most of the things I was not able to do, standing in a queue in the airport for 1 hour, the immigration would be killing me. Traveling in the car for 25 minutes would kill my back, and things like that. So, I just felt that my life had come to a standstill, until I met my guru, BCAS Iyengar, and he actually healed me without any medicine. So yes, zero medicine, only exercises, aligning. And that's when I realized that this is the missing link in healthcare, which people are not aware of. And I thought I must pursue this. So I kind of literally fell on his feet and asked him to make me his student, which he did. And later on, I topped up all those practical knowledge with, academic knowledge. I did my master's in yoga therapy. I did my MD in alternate medicine. I did my MD in acupuncture, and currently I'm pursuing my PhD. Alongside all this, I also started a clinic. I did internship with modern medicine, medical doctors, because I wanted to, even use their system of diagnosis, which is very accurate. And I personally believe that every science is useful. Every science also has a lacuna. And the idea, when you can combine the sciences, the patient is a winner. So we should not get egotistical about any particular science, but should look for the benefit for the patient. So that's what my endeavor has been, and the idea behind starting Orange Ray. So that's my small journey, and yeah.
Great.
So, Sefi, you want to begin now on the session? I think we've got good enough attendance. So. Sefi?
Yes, sorry. Some people keep calling. They have not received the link.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I wonder what to do about it now.
You can probably send them the YouTube link. I've just pasted it. I'm just pasting it to everyone in the group as well.
All right, all right. So I'll pass on this to my daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
Second, YouTube.
Yeah, I believe till I think Sefi gets back on. Zuzar, do you want to run a quick round of introduction so that we go ahead with it?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon. My name is Juzer. I am based out of Doha in Qatar, and I work for an IT company here. So day in, day out, we work with a lot of chartered accountants here in our community here. We have a Doha ICIA chapter of accountants in Doha with whom we work very closely because we provide IT solutions for finance managers and CFOs here. So I have been associated with Saifi for quite a long time. In fact, my career has been started with him, and I have been a strong follower of zero medicine for last I think 15 years now, and I'm happy to be part of this session. And I think we have a lot of people joining in, so I'll not take much time, and let's kickstart into the session.
Yeah, thank you, Zuzar. So with this, I think good evening, everyone, to yet another wonderful session at the study circle of Bombay Chartered Accountant Society. Of course, it's a pleasure to have everyone on this panel today, and it's an esteemed panel. It gets larger with every session, all thanks to our esteemed speaker, Safi. I would just, without wasting much time, I would request Govindji to, give us a start to this magnificent session. So Govindji, over to you, please. Govindji, you're on mute.
Thank you. Friends, welcome you all to this second part of Zero Medicine. Zero Medicine, the people who attended the last session 2 weeks ago, I think all of them have been fortunate enough to learn how to live without medicines. Because everybody for last 6 months has been thinking that medicine. Without medicine, we cannot live. Now, Safi sir has told us that how you can live happily without medicine. No medicines are required. And all other panelists today, when I am listening to them, their background, I think today's session is going to be wonderful session, and everyone who is attending this session will always remember that he has gained the knowledge of lifetime. He will never fall sick. He will never require any kind of medicine for any kind of treatment after attending today's session, because so many people who are here who have already undergone this therapy, and we all are going to learn this therapy. Safi sir, I am really thankful to you that for this kind of session, we have received requests from our members. Once more, we have been listening to this in music programs and other programs, that once more. But for your session, we have received requests once more. And after today's session also, I would feel that we may require to have your session on regular basis. On regular basis, either 6 monthly or yearly, whatever time is suitable to you. This kind of things we require to tell people on continuous basis, and people will be benefited a lot. I will not take much of your time. Please go ahead. Thank you very much, Safi sir, and all other panelists, all others who are joining us today, who will be guiding our members today on this zero medicine therapy. Thank you very much. Please start the session.
Thank you, Govindji, for a wonderful start to the session. Of course, as I mentioned last time as well, the man needs no introduction, but I mean, just a short introduction to make everyone familiar with him. Safi Saraya is an internationally acclaimed life coach and the author of Zero Medicine Wisdom. His book, Zero Medicine Wisdom, is based on the insight he gained from the discovery by a world-renowned doctor. The book unfolds a three-dimensional understanding on the concept of disease, symptoms, cause, and the factor behind the cause. In his workshop, participants learned that the life is in us is beyond the psychological makeup. Whatever state we may be in now, it can change. Disease can reverse. Wounds can heal. Life energy can get restored, and our dormant potential can be unleashed. Saifi's 3 decades of experience in facilitating leadership and mentoring programs in India and abroad has led him to understand varied life situations. This helps him put together a response mechanism that guides individuals through any violations of mind and maintain their well-being. So with this, let's put our hands together for the one and only Saifi Saraya.
Yeah.
Over to you, Saifi.
One and only Almighty for all of us, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And all of us together are his favorite. So we are one and only for Almighty. So let us be only true to the only Almighty. So as our president spoke, Govind Goyalji, that the promise is in every breath. Disease freedom from disease is actually promised in every breath. The very fact that the life energy itself came into existence by the breath. When a child is born, a slack comes to make the child starts breathing. The moment the child breathes, an excreta comes out of it. That is the connection between the lungs and the large intestine. So every breath is actually restoring our life energy. All the disease have come because we have been caught into conditioning of worldly attachment. So we are directly connected with disease because of the experience and attachment we create in life. Suppose if you were as a child, we cannot say that I am a divine being come into existence as a spiritual. It's only we have to go through a certain phase of life, then realize our true purpose. So our true purpose is we are divine being experiencing human existence. So the human is taking a breath, the divine is giving them the breath, inspiring, all the time protecting the human. If this small thing is understood, there is no further learning required. So in any case, we are still caught up with a lot of thoughts. So let us today's session also get rid of our thoughts and begin our session with 15-second seeking of the wisdom from the inspiration from the source, the soul. Let's keep 15 seconds silent and feel our breath and the inspiration that we get in our breath. All right. So, so that we can invoke Almighty's blessings. Till then, I request the panelists to keep their video on so that I am communicating with live audience. Thank you. So let's keep silent for 15 minutes with our eyes closed. Invoke the Almighty's blessing in our soul. Feel the soul within us. Be silent for 15 seconds. In every breath, feel his inspiration. Our silence begins now. Thank you. So we begin with the recap of the last session. All right, Rian.
I think that'll be perfect.
Yeah. Today I will manage with the screen.
Yeah.
So this is the picture of the book and the last meeting invite. So during the last meeting, what we covered was that we rush to doctor because we get abnormal experience. All right. So we panic. And why we panic? Because we have been conditioned to believe that anything abnormal means we must go to an expert. That is what the Greek philosopher Hippocrates began, an expert called physician. So from there, the professionalism started. We stopped listening to our own heart. We started seeking guidance from expert. In last meeting, I had asked this question: do you want to cure your disease or control your disease? We replied cure. I asked, do you want relief or do you want recovery? We opted for recovery. Then the third crucial question I asked was, will you believe in your own experience or what you hear from experts, news and media? And most people responded, we believe in our own experience. So today we are beginning a new journey. We are no longer putting our faith in anything other than our own experience and the guidance that is being inspired in us. So yet the world, the issue with the world remains. Our friends, our relatives, they panic. They panic because they are not used to abnormal experience. So we have been conditioned to believe that these are symptoms of disease. And doctor responds to our panic and suppresses those disease. As a result, we go next. We miss out on knowing the truth about our abnormal experience. They were meant to heal us, and we were made to believe that they are disease. No, my friends, we heard last time that each and every symptoms that you see in front of you, pain is guiding the body. If you take painkiller, you will no longer get guidance from the body that it needs to be healed. Pain is shouting that I want to be healed. Pay attention to me. Before the worst pain comes, there is always a slight pain which guides us. So if we start learning to feel our experiences, our abnormality, we will give attention to it. So pain is guiding and they need attention. Fever last time, as I told, is fighting our disease force. So fever is a favor to the body. Whenever we get fever, that means our body has fought the disease. The higher the fever, the stronger is our defense force. So we don't believe in any of the name which the medical science has given us. Chikungunya, corona, H1N1, jaundice, anything. We only know that I've got the fever and my body is fighting the disease. So I will keep quiet till my body becomes victorious with the antigen, fighting the antigen. Till then, we will not disturb the body by taking no food. We will not take any food till our fever subsides, and we'll wait for 24 hours after the normal temperature is reached. All this is already there in my book. Then we came to know that cold is protecting our lungs, so we don't have to take antihistamine and be in hurry to control our cold. Vomiting is good. Diarrhea is flushing out toxic waste. Dizziness is telling us take rest. Nothing needs to be get frightened. The only thing that we have learned, we have to understand is any of the abnormality, all we have to do is stop work and take rest. Take 1, 2, 3 days leave and allow the body to recoup itself and restore your energy. This was the first session. Then we went ahead with the next part, that we don't want even this abnormality to happen. So why don't we learn about what causes the disease? I don't want any disease itself. Only if I have abnormality, I will worry. There are so many of my friends who went through these sessions, they have not fallen sick itself in 15 years. The person who just spoke to us, Juzer, he has never fallen sick in 15 years. He may have seen many of his friends around him falling sick. Why is it that he is not falling sick? Because we came to know that if we are not succumbing to emotion, we are not becoming negative, we are not harming our organs. So that zero medicine is an understanding we reach because we realize the truth within us, that it is the mind which is controlling our body, and if the cure has to happen, the mind must be cured. By giving medicine to the body, we are only working on the effect. When mind controls the body, it is the mind that needs to be healed. So what is affecting the mind? That we learned in the last meeting, that it is the violation of mind which we do by getting angry, by losing temper, worry, fear, sorrow, stress, and these are affecting various organs in our body. This is the picture. You can once again have a look. That worry is affecting our stomach, our digestion, and we invite ulcers get formed. Fear creates kidney failure. Grief disturbs the lungs. Anger affects liver and gallbladder. And little by little, all these 4 emotions causes stress. So what is the conclusion we got in the last meeting is, we don't want any of this. We must maintain peace at any cost. So from here, we go to today's session, which is the 3rd dimension. How to maintain peace at any cost. Shall we go ahead with that, Ryan?
Yes, I think we should.
Yeah, all right. So now, let me see where we are. So, okay. So today's session we are beginning is the factor behind the cause. Is my face visible?
Yes, yes, it is.
All right. Okay.
So I would request all the other panelists to probably put off their screens while
put on their screen rather. Just a second.
Do you want them to be around when you speak?
Yeah, I would like their face to be there. Just a second.
Yeah.
One second. So friends, are you ready for the factor behind the cause? Ryan?
Yeah, I think we can definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
So now factors behind the cause is very funny. Why do we get angry? Why do we worry? Why do we fear? Last time I gave Bhagavad Gita example. Kyun व्यर्थ चिंता करते हो? किससे डरते हो? Remember that, isn't it? And do you remember there was one Nasiruddin Shah movie that was titled Albert Pinto ko gussa kyun aata hai? Sanjay, do you remember that movie?
I remember the caption and I was always fascinated by it, but I haven't seen the movie yet.
So now this question we can put to ourselves कि अगर गुस्सा आता है तो ask yourself कि भाई संजय मनसुखानी को गुस्सा क्यों आता है? So ये गुस्से के कारण हमारा इतना सारा भंग हो रहा है, तो फिर उससे हमें जानना है कि भाई इसके पीछे फैक्टर क्या है. अगर हम गुस्से को ही नहीं आने दे और ये सब नहीं आने दे, वो कहने के लिए ठीक है, मगर वो आता क्यों है? That is the main agenda of today's session. So we will go to the next slide. See, friends, every human being is facing a child, and all of us at this stage, at any stage age, we are facing comfortable and uncomfortable situation in life. Is it not? We seek something, we don't get. We wish something, we don't get. Or sometimes we get, so we are happy. Sometimes we get much more, we are very delighted. So if you see, a human life is propelled by any of these three things. There is nothing beyond that. What are we? Just like any other animals, we are creatures who are wanting to be served. So we are, every morning when we get up, we feel hungry, we want tasty breakfast. If we haven't passed our motion, we want it to be clear. So every time we want comfort of various kind. Is it not? So generally, everything revolves around this. The next slide is our needs and wants. If our needs are fulfilled, we are very comfortable. If our wants and desires are fulfilled, we are comfortable. The question is, when they are not fulfilled, गड़बड़ शुरू हो जाता है. So now we have to understand what is it, how we behave. आपने सुना होगा कि ये सब आपने सुना होगा वो पुराने श्लोक्स कि जैसी दृष्टि वैसी सृष्टि. हमने कैसा देखा कि वैसा ही हुआ. See, currently we are facing a pandemic situation. Somebody will get very nervous. Somebody will start Zoom session. Somebody, we have heard of in leadership training, we have heard that somebody sees opportunity in a problem and somebody sees problem in opportunity. So the loss of health and good health is directly responsible with what is making that person see, or what, see, mind is getting either inspired or provoked. Mind can be referring itself to the inspiration that comes from unseen, or it can be responding to provocation that is from the seen. I will go a little slow so that you can ponder over it. In any situation, you can see two things how we respond with our mind. You will see that either you are getting provoked, that creates anger, and if you immediately, pause there and say, why am I getting provoked? Then you will shift, maintain silence and refer to the unseen, and that is what is meditation all about. Feel your breath, and then you will find an answer for it. So friends, any of these three things can happen. Now you can map in your, after this session is over, you can write your notes that what are those things as of now you feel are not getting fulfilled, or which are fulfilled, and or something is fulfilled much more than you expected. How we behave when things get not fulfilled is designing our health or loss of health. For example, you refer to any of your situation. Say, list out those things which you feel that it is not fulfilled. Now, if you are getting disgusted that it is not fulfilled, and if you are getting hurt or if you are getting envious, that means your response is coming from your five senses. You are being provoked by what you see. What you see has come into existence by the design of your creator, which is making you visualize what you invite. And now if you say, no, if it is not fulfilled, I seek it. I'll maintain patience. An oak tree takes 15 years to grow. A sugarcane, every season it grows. So what is that you are seeking is designing its root. So a smart person, Jesse Disti Vesi Sisti, he maintains patience when he seeks. What he seeks, if he seeks something big, he maintains equal patience. Or for that matter, even otherwise, if he's a man who is all the time following his soul and the guidance from the soul, he maintains patience. So nothing happens to him. He cannot fall ill. Then we have the next situation, friends. You feel that everything that you need is happening. Your needs are fulfilled. Now too, you'll be surprised that a person who is soulful feels gratitude. And another person who is again caught up by materialistic tendencies, dekha dekhi, he becomes greedy. He wants more. And when he wants more, he adopts to cheating. The cheating makes him restless. And this restlessness again invites toxicity in his body. As simple as that, is it not? Now we come to the third situation. You never expected. God gave you fantastic success. You became popular, wealth-wise, in many ways. Then the guy who is following inspiration, he surrenders to the Almighty with so much of humility. Oh my God, Bhagwan जिसको चाहता है छप्पर फाड़ के देता है, मगर वो डरता भी है कि वो छप्पर फाड़ के ले भी लेता है. So friends, the other kind who, when he sees that he has reached success, he develops pride and vanity. उसको देखा देखी हो जाती है. Then he starts doing show off, or he starts putting down people. This creates arrogance and vulnerability in that person, and that is where he is unsettled. He's unsettled forever. That is why we say a life of an arrogant person ends up in destruction, and a life of a humble person ends up in wisdom. Without humility, there is no freedom and no wisdom. And with pride, you are caught in the clutches of what pride you have, and that is where all the disease heap on you, and you die as a disaster, with all the organs lost. So friends, the lesson to be learned is that three things we have to avoid in life: submitting to power, position, and possession. Because all our religious scripture and divine lessons has taught us that this life is temporary. Why are we getting attracted to position, power, and possession? Neither you can take your position. Today you are powerful, tomorrow somebody else will be powerful. Saddam was powerful, one fine day America destroyed him. Now America is in trouble, somebody else is powerful. This is how life journey takes. The only person who succeeds is the one who maintains purity at all time. They are unmoved. No harm happens to them. So friends, you will notice in today's time that politically also, the only people who fight is those who are fighting over power, position, and possession. But the one who are seeking purity, they are very happy with the tasty food they get every morning, afternoon, evening, and they live very comfortably in the pandemic time. No trouble at all. And the otherwise, what we hear in the news is catastrophe all around. So this is the test we have to understand. And this matrix of needs and wants, fulfillment of needs, where are we responding from? This you should be registering in your mind to remind you that if you are getting worked up, Albert Pinto ko gussa kyun hota hai, it can be only because of either disgust or pride. If it is out of patience, it is impossible that you can get angry. So we go to the next slides now. See, friends, whatever said and done, our current state, we have evolving needs. Body needs health, heart and mind needs relationship. We all have recognition needs, a social status. This is by default. We have heard of Dr. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of need. We need social status is self-esteem need. Then we have that stomach need, safety need, which we need wealth, that all our needs are fulfilled. And the soul in us needs dignity, the self-iness. That's the final need. Now, are these needs getting met? That is the question. Now, friends, if any of these needs are not met, am I going to get disturbed? Or will I understand why my needs are not met and work towards it? So let's understand that our emotions are revolving around the effect of, if any of our needs are not met, our emotions gets affected. We worry if our health is disturbed. If we worry if somebody relationship get disturbed. If we worry if our social status gets affected. That is why we want to hold on to positions. I will be the president. I will be the occupying the top position. All that is causing a lot of disturbance in our emotions. So why do these things happen? These things happens because Jaisi karni vaisi bharni. Friends, first let us understand nothing happens from outside. Whatever is your current state or stage or position in life, first let's acknowledge it has happened because of our own action. First one which I said is Jaisi Dishti Vaisi Srishti. Second one is Jaisi Karni Vaisi Bharni. In English we say, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Now friends, throughout our life, if we have been of the type that consumed more and contributed less. Now, if you have consumed more and contributed less, can you demand a higher social status? Certainly not. As I said, Jaisi karni vaisi sabse chhinta raha, so your social status, everybody knows around you. Your social status will be down. Now, why do you get angry when somebody else's social status is high? He is contributing more. Naturally, people will respect him. I am contributing less. Naturally, I will not be selected in the social ladder of respect. So there are three situations here also. If you have consumed more and gave less, your social status is low. If you have consumed and contributed, your social status is on par. But the best social status is, there are so many people in our circle. Sanjay, we are part of one milk group. There are so many good souls who consume very little but contribute so much. They, out of their 100% earning, there are some people who just survive on 10%, 90% they contribute. That makes sense. What your life needs, you take. How many lives you enrich, that enriches us soulfully. So how can we accumulate when our consumption needs are so less? So giving more is bound to enhance our social status. This is positive. This is by default. Nature uplifts you as a leader. So now we come to the next part, health. Health is, here the example is ate when not hungry. It also means stomach. It also means need. Anything in general. It does not specifically mean food. You took when you needed. It's an analogy to tell. You took only when you needed. Or some people, they take even if we don't need. Amrita has attended my session on the matrix called need. When you need and you take, fine. When you don't need and you still take, what will happen to you? So ate when not hungry, will not it affect your stomach? Your stomach will get toxic. When you eat only when you are hungry, no problem. But there are some great souls, they eat when hungry and they are so concerned that even when they are experiencing their hunger, they remember others' hunger. And a typical mother, you see how lovely mothers are. First thing, they'll serve others, their children. That is why I feel the world needs to be run by women. I have made a group called Women as Global Leaders. Women have this nurturing tendency. If you see how a woman behaves in the family, if a woman is made a head of a whole apartment or the whole street, they will be wonderful, nurturing people. They will first take care of others and then they'll feed themselves. These are the kind of leaders we need. Now, if this is your attitude, remember Mother Teresa. Did she become sick in old age? She continued in her old age to serve the poor. There are many like that. I know one 94-year-old lady. Till 94 years, she was walking, moving, and serving. She was part of a 4 sisters Indira Gandhi time. So such people, health is there till they end their life, because they ate when hungry and fed others. So they enrich themselves. This is the beauty of good health. Now comes relationship. This is also a cause of worry, tension, and anxiety. Everybody wants good relationship, but they find that somebody is having good relationship and they are not having good relationship, and they get envious. Are Baba, before you get envious, think. This man is having lovely relationship because of his behavior. And this man, see, it is like this. If you didn't do what you promised, all your friends will come to know, your family will come to know, and they will stop relying on you. They'll stop valuing you. But if you did everything as promised, they will know he keeps his word. So those who keep their promise, they are liked by people. They will never have any relationship ever broken. Is it not? And there are some who are lovely soul. Their very presence attracts us. We don't need we don't need to say anything. There is no need to talk. Their very presence. Who are these people? They do more than promise. They speak less. They speak less and they do more. So they promise less. I have this habit. Suppose if I used to sell computers, I will tell my client that I will be delivering you next week. But I know the computer system will come next day. And the same weekend I'll deliver. So this became my reputation, and the trust factor of my clients became very good. That this fellow, he keeps his promise. So this thing you have to learn. And now, Jesse, Karni, Vesi, Barni, you'll have to rework in your life. So we go to the wealth part. Some people are wealthy financially. Other things are emotional, health is... now, financial wealth, some are rich, some are poor. Why? Because of their weaknesses. I can give, let me not give personal example. I took but did not account. Why will my wealth increase? People will stop trusting me, isn't it? I never accounted for the trust they gave me. So this doesn't work. If you take anything, you must account for it. And there are some people, see, this is how, the audit people help. They keep accounts. And that's why they restore orders. They maintain orders in a society. They keep give and take accounts. If you maintain accounts, that organization will know where things are going wrong to recoup themselves. So by keeping give and take accounts, your wealth will not fall down. You will rework even before the danger time comes. But interestingly, there are some souls who do not keep accounts, but they have enormous success. They are simple souls, simple villagers. They just give. But they don't keep accounts. So when you give to people and don't give accounts, that person who has received from you, what kind of heart he has? He has a heart of prayer for you. You won't know why your children are being supported by so many people. Why are you being valued? Because in so many people's life, you have played a role. You never kept account. So friends, I would like to give you a definition of luck. In our leadership course, there used to be a definition of luck called, luck is nothing but that meeting point of your alertness and all the opportunities passing by. I repeat, luck is nothing but the meeting point of your alertness and all the opportunities passing by. Now, this definition is by Dale Carnegie. Everybody will say wonderful. But now, frankly speaking, it is very difficult to know our alertness, and if it's very difficult to know what is opportunity. But there is yet another definition which comes alive right now. Luck is nothing but the favorable response you get from life by the contribution you have given in life. I repeat, luck is nothing but the favorable response you invite by the contribution you have given to life. So if your life is all the time contributing and enriching other souls, other people's need, everything becomes favorable. How can you lose health now? I keep telling, if a person is doing good, how can anything bad ever happen to him? And finally, friends, we get affected with loss of dignity. See, everybody at the fag end of their life, they want to live graciously and gracefully die with dignity, isn't it? We all want dignity. That is our ultimate goal. So for dignity, remember these three things. He preached but did not practice. Naturally, his dignity is lost. The second one is he practiced what he preached. His dignity is raised. Just a second. Huh? My battery is getting... Yeah. Sorry, friends. So now, if this table, I will be anyway sending you these notes so that all the members who have attended can, message me. I will send this notes. This is very vital. This is to remind you that nothing but these are the factors that can disturb your emotion. Now, this doesn't remain stationary. You can't say that you cannot change all this. you can still change. If you feel disturbed that your social status is not as per your expectation, or your health is not as per what you wish it to be, all the emotional factors you want them to be restored, we can rework. That is saying called Praischit. Praischit. So we go next to what can change our life situation. We want to restore our life energy. We want to get back our social status. We want to get back our dignity. We want our liver to get purified. We want our kidney to be rectified. Then God says, yes, I will forgive you. You now start turning, heed me. You have been heeding the material. Now heed me, the one who is inspiring you. You are my favorite. Why are you losing yourself in the worldly attraction? Friends, I don't know, some of you in this group must have seen this movie of Gurudat, Pyasa. So I will just mention it. In Pyasa, that fellow, last song, he says, ye mehlo, ye takto, ye tajo ki dunya. Ye insa ke dusman zamano ki dunya. ये दौलत के भूखे रिवाजों की दुनिया, ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है? ये दुनिया मिलेगी तो सब कुछ चले जाएगा. पैरालिटिक स्ट्रोक हो या हार्ट फेलियर हो या ऑर्गन फेलियर हो, हमें ये सब नहीं चाहिए. हमें ये दुनिया जिसमें एंड हमारा बुरा होने वाला हो वो नहीं चाहिए. हमें तो आखिरत चाहिए. फ्रेंड्स, Swami Vivekananda, what he mentions as Hindu Rashtra is totally different from what politically we hear now. He says Hindus are people of Parlok. So beautiful. He says we are here only for temporary existence. We are, our Hindu Rashtra is Parlok, the next life. And that is what every other religion says, Swarg. But people think that promised land is Jerusalem. They think this place of worship is geographical. How ridiculous. Friends, all of you are hearing this. You have a great role to play. Not only in this particular science of zero meditation can help you guide people from falling prey to false notion in the name of religion. All the religions put together are not knowing how to solve diabetes, and they claim to be divine guiding. All the religions put together cannot solve pandemic problem. So friends, one lesson that we have to learn is shun all our conditioning and turn to the true inspiring breath giver, which in the last meeting I mentioned, the Doha of Kabir, that खोजी होए तुरंत मिल जाऊं एक पल की तलाश में, मैं हूं सांसों की सांस में. So when we realize this, all our negative life situation we can turn around by reversing it, by seeking forgiveness. We took more than we needed, no problem. We did not fulfill our promise, no problem. We preached what we did not practice, no problem. They all led to negative life situation, no problem. We can certainly reverse it. All we need to do is fold our hands, turn inwards, seek forgiveness, and start beginning to show gratitude for what we have. Turn around from right now. Now at this moment, if there is some pain in some part of the body, you are healthy in other part. Thank God for the healthy part, and you will find the unhealthy part will slowly develop immunity. And then we start spending. All that we are holding is withholding us. All that we possess is possessing us. So when you possess something, we are blocking our arteries, we are blocking our blood vessels, because what we possess us. Friends, there is an interesting thing I want to tell you. In Torah, in Bible, and in Quran, one similar example is given. What you say, it is very surprising. In Torah, that is the book of Moses, the Jews, it is said, an elephant, it is difficult for a rich person to enter heaven as it is difficult for an elephant to pass through the eye of a needle. There the word is mentioned, elephant. In Bible, it is said, it is difficult for a rich man to enter heaven until a camel passes through the eye hole of a needle. And surprisingly, in the Quran also, the rich is not mentioned, but it is mentioned, it is difficult to enter heaven unless a camel passes through the eye hole of a needle. Now, I don't have to tell you anything more. What is camel signified here? Camel signifies all our bloated ego and bloated reliance of our position of this earth. How foolish. When we came from nothing, we are going to go nothing. The only thing that we can carry is richness of the soul, which cannot be seen. It is there in the form of nothing. Soul cannot be seen. So the soul, if it has to pass to the next level, it has to be as humble as the eye hole of a needle. Now, if I say all this to you, you may say, oh, this is a very high spiritual or divine thing. No, nothing is big deal about it. You just ponder and say that what in this life do we need? We just need, whatever we need is anyway provided. How foolish it is to get worked up for it. The very fact that we get worked up is the proof that we have rejected God as our provider. We think everything that we are getting is by our effort. And this is where sickness starts. I have some of my students who are doing my 8 weeks program. They are surprised. They say, Mr. Saifi, you have making us unlearn everything. And we are unlearning and then getting into an unknown area. I said, true. Because all our learning has conditioned us, and that is what is everybody's end is. See, today it is common for all of us to think that our end has to be through hospital. Why do you think that we must end with disease? No, that is truth. Disease is not true. That is a beautiful experience. It is a departure from one low level of existence to a high level of existence. If we start living this way, you will feel as you blissfully sleep, after getting tired for the day, so blissfully you will be ready for the departure to the next life. So friends, this much is enough, and then we can go on to now I would like to say that just like Jaisi Distri Vaisi Sisti, Jaisi Karni Vaisi Bharni, same way Jaisa Sabhav Vaisi Sehat. Now, our Swabhav means, most of you know the Hindi word Swabhav, our behavior. How do we know how we behave? So the course which I have designed is helping us to filter our behavior, how we see, how we feel. There are 4 mind mapping way, and we immediately know how to correct it. Through lectures also we can hear, but that is intellectual. I would like you to ponder upon your own mind inwardly. Only when you ponder inwardly, it is interesting. If outside people keep telling you, it is intellectual. So my request is, from now on, all of you who are hearing me, never speak from your knowing. Always speak from your experience. Knowing is taking you nowhere. Knowing is not doing, and knowing is not also not being. It is experiential evidence that changes you. So go through the mind map of your own life, experience the truth, understanding of divine in your own heart, and then start expressing, then start integrating. Never get caught with the people around here. Always remain connected with the divine. I tell in one of my metrics, never get united. Always get integrated. We don't want a united family. We want integrated family. A united family is a toxic family. Every family who is selfish, that हम अपने घर के लिए करेंगे, वो पूरे घर में कुछ ना कुछ बीमारी होएगी. अगर घर में if we are taught हम लोग ये घर में दूसरों के भला करेंगे, that family will not fall sick. हमारा from there we take society. We want integrated society. If for example this Bombay Chartered Accountant Society, now that society together takes up social project like how corporate social responsibility, then that becomes a legendary organization. It becomes a guide. What kind of values we cultivate? Some association says Atithi Deva Bhavo. Some association will say outsiders car not allowed inside. Now what happens to such apartment owners association? Mehman aayega, pehle curse karega. This fellow invites us and does not allow parking space. So if you are living in a gated community, change your ways. Tell your gated community, boss, let us get blessing from outsiders. हमारे यहाँ धोबी आए, हमारे यहाँ कोरियर वाला आए, सबको पहले कुछ चीजें प्यार से बुलाओ. Watchmen should be. So there are so many ways our sabhav must change. How kind and compassionate we become is directly bringing our health. Jaisa sabhav, वैसा सेहत. And finally, like our consciousness program, we say, जैसी चित्त की चेतना वैसा ही फल होय, सुख फल सुमन का, दुमन का दुख होय. If our consciousness is all the time wanting to do good and seeing things in a pleasant way, pleasant will be invited. If सुख फल सुमन का, दुमन का दुख होय. So मन दुमन होने के कारण क्या है, वो हमारा डिजाइन है. वो जैसे गोयल जी ने कहा कि we will do monthly program. No, गोयल जी, एक कोर्स तो आपको एक वीक का या एक महीने का alternate day ये फिल्टर कर दीजिए. फिल्टर करने के बाद मंथली मीटिंग रखिए. पहले अपने आप की शुद्धि कर लीजिए. तो शुद्धि करने के लिए 6 मैट्रिक्स का जो एक डिजाइन है, give all your members, your family members. It's a very, very simple design. I thank Almighty for inspiring me to create such a design. It is crux of all the best practices of research and studies of various behavioral science. It has brought in a very simple matrix. And it is all something which you already know. It is not that I'm telling something new, no expertise in that. It is something that I'm reminding you of what I have remembered true for myself. So I'm just sharing how I'm seeking good for me. So I'm sharing. If today I'm feeling that I've recovered from all my ailments and day by day I'm improving, my prayer is all my friends should know so that I can do cycling with them together. If after some year, I don't want to be alone cycling. I want Sanjay Manshugani and all my friends to be cycling long distance till we are 90 years old age. Possible, Sanjay?
Yeah, why not? Inshallah.
Lovely, inshallah. So friends, let me stop here because I was told that there are many question and answer from people. We will listen to few question and answers, and then the panel can, as the questions are being asked, I would request the panel members, some of them whom I've invited today, Poonam, Amrita, Farzana, Juzer, let them not be in hurry to speak. While questions are being, Sanjay, questions are being asked, see what touches your heart. and from your heart you speak. We must remember one thing, none of us are experts. We are all seeking. I have learned one thing, that I will no longer want to be, even though I am speaking, but I am sharing. I no longer want to be a speaker. I would like to be a seeker from God. And when God is guiding me, I am expressing it to others. And that expression is very meaningful and very simple. So my request is now to Ryan, let him open up question answer, and also the panel members to get ready to listen to all the question and answer and wait for their own inspiration to answer whenever they feel like, and whatever I can answer, I will. All right, Ryan, it is over to you.
Right. So some questions have come in before the session. That's how much people have been enthusiastic about the session. So the first question comes up with regards to homeopathy. What's your opinion on homeopathy?
Yes, see, there is something in homeopathy, it is called rubric. Those any homeopath here, any homeopath here? I think Farzana is homeopath. No, you can unmute yourself.
You're on mute.
Okay. I'm not a homeopath, but we do offer homeopathy.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. So now in homeopathy, that rubric is a very fine art of the physician to identify one core issue of that human based on his understanding of his life force. And from there, it requires a lot of knack. And since I am not a medical doctor, I can only tell it's a wonderful science, but it is highly impractical because Dr. Fazal mastered homeopathy and he was a homeopathy guru for some time. As I told you, he has been an MBBS, MD, PhD. He was a guru in homeopath, naturopathy. Then he became what they say, father of modern acupuncture. And now he has become a divine healer. I won't say divine healer. He teaches you that divine heals. He is not a healer. He always tells that. So homeopath is highly, very, very interesting, but very impractical in today's time to identify such sharpness. It requires tremendous knack. So we can't be sure between the quacks versus the true homeopath. All right.
Okay, so the next question is on a slightly different note. Some of his family members and friends have had cancer in organs which is otherwise difficult to understand. Like a friend who was a non-smoker had cancer of the lungs, and another had brain tumor. What's your take on that? What do you feel is the reason for these kind of cancer ailments?
Now, jokingly speaking, there have been people who have throughout been smokers, throughout been drinkers, and they lived 95 years plus. So friends, none of the materialistic things affect us. It is always our mind which is affecting us. If you have an attitude of divisiveness, even the slightest kind, I told you that if you are attached with a person, you invite disease. If you know a disease in the family happens only because that family is united. Say when we use the word unity, what does it mean? Unity always immediately has the next sentence, united against. So friends, the only way the cell function is a united cell is a cancer cell. What happens to a cancer cell? It grows, it is united. It draws all the best favors from your body only to destroy your body. Is it not? Think about it. A cancer cells grows in our own body. It is very, very united. It serves each other, pulls everything, all the energy from the body only to destroy. But what would a good doctor do? Doctor cannot do anything. The mind can integrate that particular divisive force into changing its character. it is that mind who became divisive that it invited disaster in his body. Now, if it becomes integrated, that cells starts loosening up. I'll give you one example. Long ago, my wife used to have fluid retention in her knees. One particular doctor would pull that fluid out with injection. And another way is that fluid gets integrated back in the bloodstream. Now that you are creating that fluid because of your mind, the urea deposit because of your mind, the kidney stones because of your fear. If kidney stones can get formed, it can get reversed also. We have never considered that reversal. If cancer can happen, it can get integrated back to the bloodstream. So we don't believe in cancer we don't believe in disease at all, friends. We consider disease as myth. What you are doing to your soul, by rejecting your soul and guidance from soul, you are inviting loss of ease and you are destroying your body. This body that we are experiencing is also the universe. Today, if we are destroying the earth, it is what the majority of the mankind is doing. It is living with selfishness. Me, my, mine. They have forgot all the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. They have forgot that they are here to release. Release and ease is together. If you hold, you cannot release. So don't hold, release, and you are at ease. Isn't it? So ease, so much ease that you can pass through the eye hole of a needle. All right. So Poonam, Farzana, anybody can button Srijit, Juzer to complement this answer.
Yes, sir, I would like to add something.
Yeah. Okay, Poonam.
We generally live in 4 quadrants of our life: spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. And most of our problems arise with negative emotions. When we have a negative emotion, it gets stored in our mental platform. And from there, the problems in our physical body arises. So it is as simple as this, that if you have a disease in the body, the doctor will just treat you there in the physical, and it might arise as something else in some other part of your body. So till you release your negative emotions, it is very difficult to treat your physical body, because this is just a manifestation. The root cause is in the mind, which was caused by emotions.
Absolutely. Yeah. See, friends, every breath that is entering your nostrils is by the divine energy, and it is healing you all the time. No disease, everything heals, nothing remains. That is our lesson today. So let us listen to any other question.
Yeah. So coming to the next question, what would you recommend for someone who has, a slightly higher pressure and has not started taking allopathy? Is there any technique to normalize the pressure?
The same question remains. Farzana?
Yeah.
Please.
So blood pressure stems from stress and anxiety. So what is the difference between worry and anxiety? That is stress and anxiety, sorry. Anxiety is something when we are into the future. We are thinking about the future and worrying what will happen. And stress is something about the past, which has already happened. For both, we have actually no control, because what has happened, and we can never, ever get those moments back. And future, again, we have no control, because we cannot create our own future, what we can create somebody else's future. So both these two times are a myth of the mind, which the mind traps us into. So I always tell my patients that, when we keep worrying about the past, and or the future, we are actually reliving it twice, because what is going to happen is going to happen and we have to bear that. But when we think about it, we are actually bearing the whole process all over again. So instead, do you understand that we are actually not doing ourselves a favor? Something which is a negative emotion, instead of bearing the whole thing once, we are actually inviting it in our lives 2 times. How foolish that can be. So when we talk about hypertension, the easiest way to deal with hypertension without medicines is first to calm yourself down. In yoga, we have some very practical poses. Forward bends. Okay, so the way this is something, it's a very common thing between Hindus and Muslims. We have something called the Vajrasana, where we sit, and in namaz also this pose is taken, and for the Hindus also this pose is taken. If you can just sit in Vajrasana and bend forward and keep your head on any firm cushion, okay, it's a forward bend. This relaxes your mind. If somebody wants to know, I can do it also and show. It's an excellent tool to bring your blood pressure down. Practice it 2 times in a day for 20 minutes each. Nothing you have to do, just sit in Vajrasana, bend forward, put your head and breathe calmly. What happens physiologically is your blood flow goes towards your brain, and this is your prefrontal cortex, which gets calmed down, and immediately your BP goes down. So just practice this.
Yeah. So I will give you another aspect of it, friends. Yeah, see, whether it is a pressure or any disease, when we invoke divine blessing, say for example, in Quran, the very first line begins with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Most of you must be aware of it. Now, it is a different thing that people haven't understood. I'll give you what it means. In the name of God, I begin. And who is that God? He is Rahman and Rahim. That means if I am taking the breath, this breath is all compassionate control of the universe. By this breath, I am also functioning. Okay. So there was a person who was declared that he cannot survive due to cancer. Okay. So just like how Farzana said that BP patient felt nothing can happen in whatever future, whatever has to happen will happen. So he came when doctors declared that he cannot survive. So he said that these 2 doctors have told that my cancer cannot survive. So now I said, okay, stop all your tablets. For 19-20 years, he was taking diabetes and BP. I told him, tear your files. He said, no, I've kept it in top machan. Now, he said, I told my family, please don't cry. Doctors have given up. Now, the only option is, and of course, doctors were saying that we can still go through chemotherapy. It may cost 30 lakhs, but we don't guarantee any chance. So that means he will go through the torture of chemotherapy, which the doctors itself advise not worth it. So he told his family that I want to leave it to God, let whatever happen. I repeat, friends, just be mindful of what he said to me. Sefi Bhai, he said, I am leaving it to God, let whatever happen. The ke sara sara, whatever will be. The future is not for us to see. No. When we say Bismillah Rahman Rahim, you are guaranteed of the pleasant future, which is where he did a goofer. So our teaching will be, you begin a new life in the name of God and say, he is Rahman and Rahim. He is the control of the whole universe. He will restore my life energy because God's name itself has a promise. When we say Vishnu Sahasranama or when we say Asmaul Husna, please read Vishnu Sahasranama. All the adjectives of God are positive. All has promise. If you read Asmaul Husna, he says God is risk provider, God is healer, God is protector. You name it. Now, whatever be your need, He's Rahman, Rahim, He's Hayyum, Qayyum, so many surahs. But unfortunately, most people, they do ritual, but they do not internalize whom they are calling. So I told this man that I want to gather your family. You are making a mistake by saying that they have declared no hope. So I have told my family, I don't want to take chemotherapy. Let whatever happen. Please don't cry. I said, when you say, I leave it to God, that means you have to say, I leave it means I have begun my life in the name of God. Correct? Sanjay, you got the point. When I say, I leave it to God, that means I begin in the name of God. Now, if you say, when you say you are leaving it to God, then God is taken over. God is almighty. Now, can God fail if you leave it to God? He is Rahman and Rahim. So I said, you say the full sentence. I am leaving to God, who is Rahman, who is Rahim, who is Hayyum, who is Qayyum, who is... Now comes the security. You have actually invoked all the blissful promise of God. Now you can blissfully do yoga. Mind is nothing but anybody who becomes mindful becomes yogi in body position. So the yoga starts when you turn to the divine. So friends, he did that. He took back his word. He said, from hence onward, I will not say Bismillah Khalli Walli. If you say in the name of God, in Gulf they say Khalli Walli, let whatever happen. Bhagwan pe choda hai, kuch bhi ho. अरे भैया भगवान पे छोड़ा तो अच्छा ही होगा ना. तुमने अपने आप पे छोड़ा होता तो बकवास होगा. डॉक्टर पे छोड़ोगे तो बकवास होगा. भगवान पे छोड़ोगे तो सांस लो, भगवान को याद करो, एक एक सांस में तुम्हारी शुद्धि होगी. और 15 years में I have seen somebody was declared kidney failure and he got into the position of remembering this. And the next hospital he went, they said his kidneys are okay. Then they think there was a diagnostics problem. Forget about medical science. I don't want to see their papers. They get confused. Why this fellow earlier diagnosis was kidney failure, and they actually told him he cannot survive. So any hospital, if they dare to give half of their patient whom they can give affidavit, declare that by this 50% will allow them to function in a divine way. Then see, watch the fun. We do not believe in cancer. We do not believe in disease itself. That is why when somebody says, let's celebrate Cancer Day, I say, hey, what is this to celebrate Cancer Day? I keep mum. We must celebrate Health Day, Divine Day. How can we start celebrating TB Day and Corona Day and God knows what perversion has happened to humanity to start making the Satan as their leader. The Vishnu Sahasranama says something and we have started invoking the devil's list of fear-driven society, not faith-driven society. Today we are. It is wear mask, you are a good boy. You are trusting God, stupid fellow. Yes, Sanjay.
Yeah, Saifi, I have a take which includes what you are saying, which also supports those who are non-believers in God. There are certain specific belief systems where God does not exist. Okay, so now what for those people? There might be somebody who's an atheist. There could be somebody who's an agnostic. What for him? So I would like to again point out what I had spoken in the last meeting. Ki as per the Indian rishis, yogis, the body is made up of 7 layers. First layer is the body. Second layer is the prana, the life force, which runs the body, the breath. Third layer is the mind, which runs the breath and the body. Now, if something goes wrong in the mind, it impacts both the breath and the body because mind is running the breath and the body. But there is a 4th layer. It's called buddhi, intellect. And the intellect can control the mind. You see, we have been discussing over the past more than an hour that emotions are cause of all problems. Emotions are stored in the mind. But who is taking care of the mind? Whose mind it is? If it is my mind, if I am the owner of my mind, if I am the boss of my mind, if I am alive, I can use my buddhi. I can scan my emotions. I can keep constructive emotions in and kick out non-constructive emotions. What is stopping me? If I think I have fear, I can inject courage into my mind by meditating on courage. Courage will come inside my mind. If I have a feeling of a scarcity, lack of abundance, I can fill my mind with thoughts of abundance, and then abundance will rule my mind. So disease happens because the mind is let out of control. We don't control the mind. So mind starts collecting all the garbage from the world outside through our 5 sense organs.
Absolutely.
So there has to be a buddhi there. There has to be an intellect there. There has to be a controller of the mind. So that is, if you do not believe in God, if you don't want to go to the divinity for a solution, that is fine. If you go to the divinity, then the divinity takes care. But if you are not believing in that divinity, then if you are believing in your own power, if you believe God is in you, you have that absolute power, you have the life force, you have the intellect, then that can be put to use. I mean, this is very simple. If I have an emotion, in ancient times, in Vedic times, they used to do yagyas. What they did in yagyas, one of the simplest forms was you lit a fire, put some ghee, put camphor, and then sit in front of it and take out your negative emotions and put them in the pot in which the fire is burning. And then you see those negative emotions burning away. Yeah. And when you see those negative emotions burning away through a mental exercise, because intellect has been used, an experiment has been turned into reality. So you find all the negative emotions getting burned simply. In your own home, you take an earthen pot, put 3-4 lakdi ka pieces, put some ghee and burn. Yeah. Now, those people used to physically do it. I'm saying even the physical exercise is not needed. We are an advanced race. We have got tremendous visualization power today. So just sit in the room, close your eyes, imagine a pot, imagine some firewood there, imagine some ghee there, lit it up, and imagine that you are taking out one by one your negative emotions and putting it in the fire. Yeah. You see, the negative emotions will disappear. Only the constructive emotions will remain. Just not the emotions, even the thoughts. Take out all non-constructive thoughts, put it in the fire. Just allow constructive thoughts to remain inside you. Yeah. Thoughts are like seeds. So what will happen? They will manifest in the world outside. So if you have peaceful thoughts inside your head, you will find peace outside. If you have harmony thoughts inside your head, you will find harmony outside. If you have abundance thoughts inside your head, you will find abundance outside. If you have health thoughts inside your head, you will find health outside. It is actually very simple. Yeah. So this is one aspect of handling it. That is number one. Second is, many of us are not in control of our minds. Our minds control us. It is like a madari and a monkey. The monkey is the mind, monkey. But the monkey has become the owner of the madari. And the madari is running around and the monkey is taking him by the collar, So we have to realize we are souls. We have a presence of God in us. And that presence of God in us has to get awakened. We must become aware that there is divinity in us. And that divinity has to be awakened. And that divinity for Hindus is Atma. That divinity for the Muslims is Ruh. That divinity for the Christians is soul. So what is stopping us from awakening our Atma, awakening our soul, awakening our Ruh? What is preventing us from joining with the Supreme Power? Yeah. But if some people are feeling uncomfortable, they don't know it, they don't know how to do it, then they can always use their intellect. People of the Western world who have been influenced by science, who don't believe in God, for them, this is the solution. You become your own God, use your intellect, use your intelligence, and remove the negative emotions from yourself. Take possession of your mind, and then clean it up.
Shall I
now,
interrupt?
Just a sec, Sefi, because I'm in the flow. You see, if I have garbage in my house, who comes to clean it up? Does God come or I have to get it cleaned? So similarly, if I have negative emotions in my head, will God come to clean my negative emotions or I have to clean it up? If there is dirt inside my car, who will clean it up? Either I clean it up or I get somebody else to clean it up. So the responsibility is always mine.
Yeah.
We can realize that some people who believe in God, for them it is easy, because then God is the most powerful force in this existence. Magic can happen with him.
Yeah.
But if you do not believe in God, then at least believe in yourself. Yourself is also your soul. It is not the ego I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself, your greater I, your spirit, your Atma. And if you look at it, if that Atma goes out from you, you are just burnt. You are a body. So it is the soul which is giving you that power. So realize that power, use that power to clean up the mess inside your mind. Remove all the negative emotions. Put an extra dosage of positive emotions. If we fall sick or ill or weak, doctors say take vitamins. I would suggest take a dosage of positive thoughts. Take a dosage of godliness. And then see the magic what happens in your life. You will be saving lakhs and lakhs of rupees of money. You will be saving a lot of stress, anxiety, whatever Farjana was talking about, past, future. Who is living in the past? The mind. Who is living in the future? The mind. Bring the mind back to today, right now, in the current present moment. Just be in the moment. All stress disappears, all anxiety disappears. We don't need any fancy yoga exercises to disappear stress or anxiety. We just have to be our own self in the moment, and that's the magic key. Take possession of your mind. That's the key. But if you're unable to take possession of your mind, then take help of somebody who can do it for you, and that is God, that is divinity. That helps then in that case. But the solution is, in my humble opinion, that possession of the mind is important. You might take it through any means, but take possession of the mind, and then that will take possession of the body, and then magic will start happening inside you. Yeah, Sefi, that's it.
Yeah. So, friends, one thing, let me make it clear. We, the entire audience, first of all, let us understand, we do not consider anything, any God called outside of us. When Sanjay is telling, we are only talking about God in us. We have already clarified that by the Kabir Doha. Once again, I will send that Kabir Doha song to all of you, that there is nothing called God outside, there is nothing called temple outside. All
I would
that.
like to add here, Saifiji, with your permission, it's Aham Brahmasmi. I am God.
Yes.
Tat Tvam Asi. There is God in you. So when we recognize the divinity within us, and when we recognize the divinity within each one of you, that is the divinity we are trying to tap into. That is there residing. It's up to us whether we want to let it snooze or we want to wake it up. Okay, it's up to us. And another thing I just wanted to add over here was, everything what you were saying was about surrender. So whatever we do with an attitude of surrendering to so we do not let our own egos come into play. We are tapping into this infinite wisdom, okay, whether it is within us or whether it is outside of us, but there is an infinite wisdom. We are tapping into it, keeping our egos all aside with complete faith and surrender.
Lovely.
So that is just, I wanted to add that. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I'll tell you what happened once. Once I went to one day as meditation. There was one person called Andrew Cohen. I don't know how many of you have heard of him. Yeah. He has written a book called Who Am I? So he did 10 days workshop in Rishikesh, and then he came to Bangalore for a one-day workshop. Andrew Cohen, we had organized his program in Chennai. This is 20 years ago. And thereafter, when he came to Bangalore, one person who finished 10 days session with him also came to Bangalore. Now, there was two dialogue, friends. Just pay attention. He gave a dialogue and I gave a dialogue. After the whole day meditation finished, he asked Andrew Cohen that I have been going to every other Swamiji's program, every other ashram, ever since I retired. But I am not yet self-realized. I am not getting any realization. And it turned out, when he gave his background, he had enough money saved in LIC. He had saved enough money in FD for his family. And now, with all his earning and safety which he did with money, now he felt he is free to do now retirement in search of God. So he was now, parallelly, I didn't want to interfere much in his question, but from the dialogue, an idea emerged. I asked that Andrew Cohen that I know one more person who during his school days decided to commit suicide. He was probably in class 7 or 8. And when he had been repeatedly thinking of doing suicide because of disturbance, which he was not comfortable in the places called Calcutta, there was a time when things were very, very sad. So people were very eager to commit suicide. 4 friends together wanted to commit suicide. Like that it was. So when this man totally resolved, and one fine day he knew exactly how he will commit, a second thought came. He said, I am going to next moment die just like that. Why not I wither off? Instead of dying in the whole body is functioning, my 2 hands are there, 2 legs are there. Why not I just wither off? I don't want anything from this life. So he decided to have a second thought. And instead of committing suicide, he said, let me sleep wherever I can. If I get hungry, I will take up some work as a waiter in a hotel somewhere, and somehow I'll manage. So he found a place where he can sleep. There in Calcutta, we have, huge windows with a lot of gap for sleeping. You see so many people like that. So he did not agree with, he changed a decision. Now, incidentally, what happened? As the days passed, nothing happened. He came back home eventually. Past midnight, with all the resolve, he came back and he was found by his family and slapped and brought home. And then life took a different turning. He, in his mind, was no longer having attraction for life. He never had any ambition, but still life fed him. Still he got married. Still he started having business. His business grew, but he was not responsible. People said his hard work. He said, no, it was all simply it is happening. I have played no role. His mind was not having any ambition, but he was growing. Now, when this story I shared, I asked Andrew Cohen, who is in better position of self-realization? Then Andrew Cohen replied that the man who decided to commit suicide is in a better position. So here the point is, this man is wanting all security of life, and then he wants realization. My friends, you have to first reject your dependency on materialist security and turn to divine security. You can't be filling up your pond and expect rain to come. You must rely on rain, fresh. The fresh needs are enriching need. So there was a difference in the attitude of decision. When Gautam Buddha, he saw the 3 sins, sickness, death, and poverty. And he decided to reject his prince kingdom and said, I don't want all this. I want the truth. And today he is a legend. So many people follow his teaching. So friends, it is in Tyag, when Swami Vivekananda is saying that Hindu Rashtra is called Loka, it is a Tyag of this Loka. And just because you do Tyag, that doesn't mean that you lose it all. Whatever is meant for you, every child when it grows from the mother's womb, it is bound to get milk. Every life that is created is bound to get what it needs. Abundance is just nothing but Jesi Dristi Vesi Srishti. We have a cycling group. We enjoy our chiki and occasional tea in the road, and we are without house. We sleep sometimes on the road, and we are blissfully enjoying our life because we enjoy the sky and the floor, and we feel abundant. But and so many of us would love to do tent trekking. We'll be in a tent and we'll enjoy life. So, friends, abundance is in the mind. And if you cannot be possessing something and then expecting mind to do psychic meditation. Mind has to have the vairagya, at least from then it will, see, you have to get out of the clutches of gravity. See, you know how the rocket is getting uplifted from the gravity? The initial gravity is very difficult. Only when it successfully gets out of the gravity and in the orbit it launches, then it picks up. So, this, don't get frightened. This is very, very simple. Poonam has not spoken. Amrita is there. They are already doing a very, very simple 6 metrics program. And let us listen to them. What, as an ordinary human, are they responding to the current learning they have? Okay, Poonam.
Yes, sir. So it has been a great pleasure to learn from you. We've covered a lot of matrix, but I think the best learning that I got out of all of this was to unlearn. And I would just talk about that conversation that I had with you. Was you always emphasize on unlearning, and so my question was that then what is the need to learn so many things? I have so many mentors, I have done so many courses, I read so many books. All this, when I do, I acquire knowledge. And then that knowledge sometimes comes in the path of uh, realization. So that doubt, Sefi sir cleared that it is just a stepping stone, and until unless you learn a lot of things, you cannot. This is the primary school learning. Until unless you learn a lot, you cannot unlearn. And after you unlearn, you go to a place called self-realization or self-actualization. So I think that was the best learning from the course. Obviously, we did a lot of other things also. So most of the things we do know, whatever Sefi sir is teaching, it is very common, and most of the things we know, but he has put it in a form which is very easy to understand, and his matrix is very simple to understand, and we can put all our thoughts and filter it uh, to know that our results are why the results are such. So
Yeah.
I think it has been a great experience.
Yeah, friends, as I was telling you, the metrics are like this. It is like the typical Albert Pinto ko gussa kyun aata hai. One matrix explains, oh, I get angry because I see it like that. So the map guides you where how you must shift. You don't require a lecture for that. Lecture is imposing, psychic, but your own learning with metrics is like GPS. I can't be asking destination. I have my GPS. So metrics are so beautifully designed. It is grace of God that it became a design like that. All right. So unlearning is nothing but changing dresses. When you were a small child, you had to wear that small child frock. When you grow up, you had to wear the other dress. Then it changes. So learning is part of growing, only to take it off. So this is how we enjoy the journey. You may go to Switzerland, you may go to Paris, but you will want to come back to your home. So you can't bring Switzerland to your house. You can only bring it in your mind. So all the learnings gives you enrichment, and then from that enrichment, you now see only when you have enjoyed some gross, you can enjoy the subtle. So there is nothing wrong in learning, but we shift from learning to let it go. So that is why we say, let it go. I go above. There are 7 heavens. I have to live from this life to the greater life. All right. So let us listen from Amrita. She is also doing this 6 weeks course. I mean, 8 weeks course.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm really very happy and grateful to join the Safi sir. Even last I completed almost 5 to 6 matrix. Even matrix is nothing. It's a very simplified design. You can put yourself in the matrix and find the every solution, whatever your problem inside. It's last I was really believe in zero medicines. Last my kids are cesarean. I took medicine all the life. I just believe in naturopathy, and these things, you know. So from the sir, we exactly find the things. I was very short temper, and sometimes I anger over the things and create a problem, my BP. But after attending all the sessions, I really find out the solutions. I think much more control over my thoughts, because I just change my, you know, the breath is, I think, everything which you control over the things. So all I'm really grateful and thankful to sir. I feel a lot of changes in my life and day-to-day life. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, friends, we must now conclude. So what we'll do is, there are many questions asked, I can see in the chat. To all, you know, there is one song, लाख दुखों की एक दवा है क्यों ना आजमाए, काहे घबराए, काहे सर जो तेरा चकराए या दिल डूबा जाए, आजा प्यारे हाथ, you know that song, Mumbai,
हमारे काहे घबराए.
yeah, इस पंछी में बड़े बड़े गुण, लाख दुख. So friends, all of you are bound to get healed. Remember one thing, every breath that you are taking is by the divine power, divine energy in you. There is no God, like Sanjay says, there is no God outside of you. The God inside you is the one which is in charge of all the breath that he is, by which he is running the whole universe. In the name of that breath, you feel his inspiration. All the rigidity on your joints will start becoming flexible. I expect from the chat box question to, you know, respond directly to my SMS or WhatsApp, that how you are improving from this learning today. Trust every breath of yours, feel every breath and the inspiration that you get in the breath. Remember the Kabir Doha once again, खोजी होए तुरंत मिल जाऊं एक पल की तलाश में, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधु मैं हूं सांसों की सांस में. So with or without my classes, those who imbibe this breath are bound to start experiencing healing. These classes are only going to help you to help others. Sometimes you require some wordiness, sometimes you require certain ways of mapping your mind. So 6 metrics can just aid you. But with or without 6 metrics, you can still be yogi. You can still be, you know, relaxing in meditation. Because when the mind is mindful, the body becomes yoga. When the mind, when you speak the truth, it becomes poetry. So life is like that. So I will now request Ryan to see if he has anything to say, if there is any urgent question.
Yeah, I think there was just one question, I think, which was basically an extension to what Fazana had suggested. I think so on the pressure where you had suggested Vajrasan, I think somebody was asking whether it would be, you know, for your stroke problems, especially the brain stroke issues, would that be effective as a...
Yeah, so Vajrasan will not for stroke. For stroke, what we know is basically a stroke is a nervous disorder. And just as the name suggests, it is all about your nerves. And nerves means, again, stress, constant chronic stress, okay, which could also either be in the form of anger. People who are very angry tend to hold a lot of stress in whatever. So if you see them even holding a small phone, instead of holding it lightly, their knuckles, you can see the whiteness in their knuckles coming out. So that is the stress which we carry and translate it to all our joints and muscles. So for people who are recovering from a stroke, they really need to do a lot of restorative exercises. So in yoga, we have different kinds of yoga which calms you down, yoga which invigorates you, yoga which strengthens you, yoga which gives you more stamina. So depending, so it's, I always tell my patients, yoga is like, you know, like a pill box, like a pharmacy. So everyone, all the tablets are important for somebody or the other, but not one person is going to take the entire pharmacy. So similarly in yoga, we all don't need all the asanas. A yoga therapist picks up and chooses asanas people who need what. So for, again, coming back to neurostroke, restorative yoga poses where you calm down, You lie with your heart a little raised up from the floor. So there is a bolster. We make the patient lie down, expand the heart, the lungs, and the chest, and we teach them how to breathe slowly, rhythmically, in a proper pace. So this provides them that restoration to their tired and overworked system, which will help them to bounce back.
Okay, that's nice. That's helpful. There's another question that has just come in, and I got to take that one as well. How do you tackle cervical spondylitis?
Okay, so this is something I specialize in. So basically, a spine consists of bones which are called vertebrae, and between two bones there is a jelly-like substance called the disc. So what happens if let's imagine a burger bun. So you have the upper bread and you have the lower bread, and between the two breads there is your patty. So if I press both, what happens? The patty leaks. Similarly, when you press the vertebrae, the disc leaks. And who presses this? It's the constant gravity acting upon you. That is why we say human beings are not meant to sit on the chair for the amount of time we sit. We are coming from the hunter-gatherers. So we are supposed to move, but our lifestyle has taken us and put us in front of the computer, and we sit on it 8 hours, 10 hours without even getting up. So this causes the pressure on the disc. So what we do in yoga therapy is basically we stretch the spine in such a way that we recreate the space which has gone between two bones. Okay, so when we recreate that, the disc which has leaked actually comes back again, and the spine becomes flexible again, and the muscles get strengthened. So this is how we treat cervical spondylosis. If you want a treatment, please do get in touch with me. Ryan, if you can share my contact number and email ID with the audience, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, I think we can just have a session itself where you can cover that.
I would love to do that for all your people. Yes, sure.
Wonderful. So I think with this, we're running out on time. I quickly request KKG to come in with the closing remarks. KKG,
sir, namaskar. Namaskar to speaker, sir, and namaskar to all the panelists. Sir, I would simply say we are grateful to you for this wonderful exposition by you as well as your able panelists. I would simply add only one thing, what the Dalai Lama said when somebody asked him how we can remain physically healthy. Then he said, you have to be just compassionate, you have to be just calm, you have to just open. So what you said, that is covered in these 3 words basically. You have to be compassionate, you have to calm, you have to be open-minded. I will not add any more things. We will just relish what you said, and we will just dwell on that. We will have reflection, and it will be the life-changing session. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. No words can express about our gratitude, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Junjunwalaji.
Thank you, KKG.
I have to introduce 2 people, and of course my friend Surya Kumar is also there, a psychologist in the panel. So out of that, Srijit has come with a very innovative idea. He would like to do a project where everybody carries a preventive healthcare card, and this can be self-monitored. So, and he being a chartered accountant, I would recommend him to join hands with you. Let the committee negotiate with him, and let Bombay Chartered Accountant Associate create something landmark for the globe. Why not? We all are a legendary organization. We are individual thinkers. I have benefited. Let there be a systematic method where people like Srijit, Farzana can bring some kind of a technology which is globally available in a systematic manner. My metrics will also be there, freely available. It can be made into an app. It does not require expert. And I have my friend Juzer, who is also a software developer for accounting community. Already SAP has brought in a wellness index in their software. So I was requesting Juzer to talk to his company. Like SAP, the focus can bring about employee wellness. So there are many interesting ideas for legendary organization like Chartered Accountant to take up and help Already you are helping them by guiding them on auditing. Now let your guidance be by auditing their wellness. Why not? I mean, wellness of wealth and wellness of health. So wish you all, prayerfully, good luck, that you have taken a lot of effort by inviting me twice and you want to invite me more often. As long as I live, I am available, but I would rather part with this into an app form, because individually I prefer to do cycling. I don't want to get caught with this Zoom meeting, which is very dull at times, but now I have started enjoying. So, Juzer, you want to say anything? We have another 5 minutes.
Asking me?
Yeah, you want to say anything?
Yeah, it's been great to be part of this session. Learned a lot of new things, met a lot of new friends here. And as you have introduced me, I work for an software solutions company. We have a presence in Mumbai, and we work with a lot of chartered accountants here in Doha. So we would welcome that association also in Mumbai. I would be very happy to introduce my vice president who handles the operation in Mumbai to meet y'all and see if we can work together, because here we have a very strong relationship. We also have parties together here with the chartered accountants a lot of times here. So
Yes,
I welcome this session, and I look forward to many more such sessions with y'all.
Yes, a word from Surya Kumar.
Hi, Saifi. I've come here to listen, so I prefer to keep quiet. Okay.
All right. Okay. Srijit, anything? Last words? Then we go to Ryan. No, you are not.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yes, Saifi, again, thanks for making me a part of this. In fact, there's only one point which I would like to emphasize here is we have seen a lot of questions coming on, solutions like how do I treat cancer? How do I treat all those things? My advice would be let's take this project more towards a proactive health rather than trying to be a reactive thing, because that involves a lot of other complications, as you all know, because there is a legal structure and everything. So how do we actually live without medicine, a good health? So the focus, if we can really put on that, those cases where we need a treatment or we need a solution, like somebody is already sick, we need a reactive kind of a solution. I think that has to be addressed separately. This is my humble opinion. And
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. I think the time is less.
And on behalf of Mumbai Chartered Accountants, whoever has accepted my invitation, may you all integrate together and be of help to the mankind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Concluding remarks from Ryan.
Yeah, thank you so much, Saifiji. And a short word of thanks from Gracie. I'd like to request Gracie to just come on and give us a short word of thanks.
Yeah, very good evening, everyone. On behalf of HRD Committee of BCAS, I have the privilege to thank Saifi Saraiya wholeheartedly for wonderful learning on the subject of this meeting, Zero Medicine Wisdom. Thank you for accepting our invitation for the second time. Thank you for the lovely panelists, Shamlata, Sanjay Mansukani, Farzana Shiraz, Srijit, Juzair from Doha, Poonam,
and Amrita
Verma, and Surya Kumar. Thank you for sharing your unique wisdom. Surely it is a rare opportunity for us that we got such share of knowledge and experience from Saifi Saraiya. As Poonam mentioned, we have unlearned and relearned. Life is a continuous learning of many things every moment of our life. We are blessed to have these two meetings today and last Tuesday, hoping to meet again with good attendance in large numbers in future. Thanks to Ryan and the event staff who have worked to organize this event and making it possible. Thank you all participants and viewers interested in studying on this subject. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gracie.
Thank you.
Bye, all of you.
Yeah, thank you, Gracie.
Everybody.
I think,
Thanks,
Gracie, do you want
sir.
to just put together the announcement for the next session?
Yes. We have a study meeting on Gandhiji on 2nd October. And 13th October, Sanjay will be speaking to us on the importance of our taking care of ourselves first.
Thank you, Gracie. And with this, we come to
And
an end of.
one thing I want to tell all of you who are registering, please write your correct email IDs. There seems to be an error while typing the email IDs, because of which there is a problem in logging in.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Gracie, for this wonderful vote of thanks. And with this, we come to an end of yet another wonderful session. Thank you, Saifi, and thank you to all the panelists who have been part of this wonderful journey. It's been a pleasure to have all of you all on this session. We hope to see you all individually and maybe as a group as well as part of more sessions. So thank you and have a nice day and good day to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Sincere
Thank
thanks, Saifi sir, and all colleagues of Saifi sir. Sincere thanks to you.
Thank you,
We'll be
Govind. Thank you.
certainly inviting you for more meetings, sir.
Yeah, Shyamlata never spoke.
Shyamlata.
Shyam has always been the silent one unless it's his session.
Today his video is also not on. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.